Ever wanted to know how to dominate the court but didn't have the proper skills? In this video, we'll walk you through all the proper basketball skills to get you from playing like a rookie to a baller. Hi everyone, my name is Cassandra from Stellar Performance, and today we are at the Vancouver Skill Lab. Alright, so today we are here with Diego Kapelan, ex-professional basketball player. Can you tell us a little bit more about this space?
Yeah, so today we're here at Skill Lab Vancouver. This is a gym in partnership with Michael Lancaster, who's one of the best and most popular basketball skills trainers in the world. He's worked with guys like, so that's Kyrie Irving right there. He's worked closely with Kyrie Irving. This is Victor Oladipo, ex-NBA All-Star. And then he was also featured in the movie Hustle with Adam Sandler. Playing with my friends at school, that's how it really got started off at first, and then when the Grizzlies moved here in the mid-90s, basketball just started to kind of blow up out here. My dad started bringing me to the Vancouver Grizzlies basketball camps, and that's really where the ball got rolling.
So what got you into the sport of basketball professionally? What were your steps to get there?
First, high school. Had a pretty good high school career. I went to King George Secondary School in the West End. I ended up getting a scholarship to McNeese State University. It's a mid-major, smaller Division I school in Southwest Louisiana. Redshirted my first year, played 4 years, and then after that, going pro, signed with an agent, and then just took the steps after that.
Amazing. And I do hear that you play professionally in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that and how the Europe League varies from what you see here?
Yeah, so I played 13 years in Europe and a little bit Latin America. I think the biggest difference with professional basketball when it comes to Europe and North America, in North America there's a lot of it's like individual based first, I would say, in my opinion. Whereas in Europe, it's more, you have the college basketball or the university basketball where it's like team first, winning first, and then you kind of fit in there as an individual. In my opinion, the NBA and North American leagues, it's a lot of entertainment first. They're very highly skilled players, of course, like the most skilled players in the world, but it just, when it comes down to the way the style is played, the European, I would say, is just more team first oriented.
Can you tell us a little bit more about some of the programs that you're currently running and some of the demographic that you work with? So I did hear that you work a lot with youth. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
I work for a basketball academy called 3D Basketball Academy. It's based out of the North Shore, and I just coach, all levels from 9-year-olds to 17, 18-year-olds, kind of like what I coach on a day-to-day basis. I also have a private skills training business on the side of that, where I work out and train some of the top players in the Lower Mainland in high school right now, university guys as well. And then I also do fundraising and community involvement for the 3D Basketball Academy. We sponsor about 45 athletes whose families can't afford to pay for the cost of club basketball, with the travel and everything that adds up. So right now I'm just spearheading an initiative trying to raise $25,000 to help all those families and kids out, just to keep them involved with basketball.
Amazing. I love that. Yeah. And for me, I think sport is very important and crucial to development and fundamental movement skills, as well as communication and social skills. It's super important, especially at a developmental age. So I think that's amazing. So you're going to teach me some moves?
Yep.
All right, let's get started.
All right. It's a 3-step layup, but without dribbling, and then we'll add the dribble after. So you want to step with your right first,
okay,
then your left, and then we're jumping off our right.
Okay.
And an important thing is the last 2 steps you take, so when you're going into your layup, you want them to be quick. So you want to kind of just think about, you want to hear, quick 1-2 with your feet, okay? So going into it without dribbling, so you're going right, left, right, shoulder the ball, and finish, okay? Step with the right,
okay,
left, and then right, and shoot.
Okay. This is what it looks like to be a complete beginner.
Okay, so go right, left,
okay.
right,
left,
right, and nice.
Yes.
Right, left, right, layup. Okay?
Got it. So dribble as I step.
Yeah,
right,
pick it up,
left, right.
Right, left, right.
You hit that perfect spot on the board. Okay, that's what I'm aiming for. Okay.
right? Left, right. More at the backboard. That's why it's bouncing off of that. So try to get it up just a little bit more.
Up and over.
Yeah. And a little softer.
A little softer.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Right, left.
And it counts.
Good job. You want to go one way, cross the ball over, and then go by your defender. Okay, a big thing, chest up, eyes up. Okay, so what we want to do is hand on the side of the ball, and you want to cross over from knee to knee. Okay, outside each knee and below each knee. Okay, so just side to side like this. Okay, hand on the side of the basketball. Okay, and then you get really good at it. You want to try to snap it. Okay. Okay, hips low, chest up, eyes up. There you go. Yep. It's a couple more pounds. We start off with about shoulder level and trying to control the basketball. You see how it like floats in my hand for a second?
Yeah.
Okay. And then here, wait. Still same thing, right? Hips low, chest up, eyes up. So there you go. Yeah. Then half time just. Yeah. Good. Nice. There you go. That's it. That's the touch. Right. Get a feel for the ball. Fingertips. Nice, eyes up. There you go. Nice. Good job.
Hey, this is pretty good.
Nice. Okay, I want you, and also right here.
Wow.
So side to side, okay? You see how at the end it kind of rolls in my hand?
Yeah.
And then I bring it back the other way, okay? A thing I see a lot with beginners is that they're afraid to make the mistake and lose the basketball, so they tend to dribble it even softer. Whereas like that, just the ball's not bouncing back up, and then you're making mistakes that way, but it's not getting you better, right? So it's really important that you pound the basketball and you lose the ball. It's not a bad thing to lose the basketball if you're going hard and really pounding the ball. That's what you really want, right? You lose the ball in practice, and then it'll transfer over the games. Because if you just dribble soft, you'll go to the game and you have to dribble like that, and you're not ready. You haven't practiced that way. Mm-hmm. So a big thing is when you're working on your handles is, like you said, when you dribble, they pound the basketball.
Yeah.
It's a big thing, and then they give you more confidence as well.
Awesome. Yeah. One thing I didn't realize is how much like actual arm and like shoulder stuff there is going on. I thought like majority of it was just going to be mostly lower body. So this is really cool getting that.
There you go. There you go. Those crossovers are try too.
So being a kinesiologist, I deal with injuries all the time. So I've got to ask you, what are some of the most common injuries that you've had and that you've seen within the sport of basketball?
I would say from first-hand experience, hamstrings, groins, ankles, and then knees were the injuries I've seen. But no knees for me from first-hand experience.
Yeah, that's good.
Just some jumpers in me, but I've had a bunch of hamstring tears in the recent years, which kind of pushed me towards retirement. I think I just worked really hard, to get where I got to, and my body kind of just gave up at the end.
Okay.
But it's life, and I had a really good career, so I'm really happy with how everything turned out.
Okay. With your experience with injuries, have you ever had any circumstances where you felt like you were pushed to play past the pain?
As an athlete, of course, it's not ideal to return early, but at the same time, I have understood the side, of the clubs that I played for, because every game is so important in European basketball. There's teams that get, at the end of the season, the worst two teams get relegated, top two teams from the league below get promoted, so there's a lot at stake. So I do understand, if I'm 90%, I'm not almost quite 100%, there is ways to manage certain injuries, for example, with my hamstrings, just immobilize everything. I had everything wrapped up and taped up when I was playing with a hamstring injury. It does kind of suck, not to play at 100%, because you obviously, every time you step out there, you want to show your best and show really what you can do.
Have any exposure regularly to other sports within basketball, such as wheelchair basketball? Is that something you've seen a lot of?
Yeah, I've seen it quite a few times on a few of the teams I played for. We've made appearances. We've gone to wheelchair basketball teams and participated in some of their practices and done some drills with them. And I think for me, like when I've gone and had those experiences, it just leaves me, I walk out of there just like so humbled and just like really grateful, because it makes my life easier, even though I'm like, I have sacrificed a lot of being away from home. But then, when you go and then, you see people like show up and still practice hard, and they're in a wheelchair, just like, and then you think about it, it's like, man, I'm complaining about just going to practice every day, and like I get paid to play basketball, so it's like it just really puts things into perspective. So that's one of the reasons I really enjoyed doing things like that. It just can really help you in your own mind, because every day we can kind of start comparing yourselves to other people and then kind of lose that perspective. So it's always been like good for me to like see that and then just be like, man, I need to stop complaining about every little thing, or complaining about having to go to practice and things like that.
So you mentioned earlier that you guys sponsor 45 athletes in Vancouver right now. What are some of the barriers for kids accessing basketball? I know you mentioned travel expenses. Are there any other type of expenses that go into playing the sport?
Traveling, and then of course like gym availability. I've observed in Vancouver right now is like it's really difficult for kids to get gyms, and like paying for a gym to rent a gym out is also pretty expensive. So I think the biggest issue right now is just having the gyms available, for kids. Before in the past, there was certain community centers. Even myself, I would go in the morning, really early when no one's in there, like 6 to 8 a.m. And there was a lot of gyms community centers that were open, and the gym was available. And then that doesn't seem to really be the case as much anymore. So I kind of don't know if that's just all across the board, or just the gyms I was, going to use. But I think that is probably like after like paying for club basketball and paying for things, I just think just having that gym availability for kids, after school, Friday nights, just a place they can have somewhere to go, not to be out like in the streets fooling around, goofing around, just have those gyms available to them where they can be playing sports and doing other activities, not only basketball.
Yeah, I think that definitely does apply to all sports, and accessibility is extremely important if we want kids to play sports and we want them to be healthy and live active lives for the rest of their lives, right? So I think accessibility is super important.
My main reason for being back here is just to grow the game and just to give back to the basketball community here. I've been away for so long, so I even had to kind of reintroduce myself to a bunch of people here because a lot has changed over the years. But I'm just really happy to be back and then to be growing the game in Vancouver, surrounding areas, BC, and then hopefully eventually, Canada.
So what is the best way for parents and people who want to train with you to get in touch with you?
Right now, the best way to get in touch with me would be through social media, mainly on Instagram. Instagram handle is Diego Swish 604.
Okay, so if you are interested in booking a time slot at the Skill Lab, you can use their app, which is called Catch Corner, and look for Skill Lab to find their hours of availability. Okay, so now that Diego has listed some of the common injuries within basketball, I'm going to show you 3 exercises that you can do in order to manage these injuries. As Diego mentioned, some common injuries within the sport of basketball often include the groin, the hamstring, the knees, and the ankles. Today, I'm going to start off with a simple stretch that you can do to help with the groin, and it's always important that we warm up before we train in order to avoid injury. All right, so what you're going to want to do is start off on your hands and knees. You're going to place one foot out to the side with your toes facing forward. This knee should be directly underneath your hip with the toes flat on the ground. And what we're going to do is you're going to rock back, feel the stretch in the groin area, maybe even in the hips or hamstrings, coming forward and rocking back and forth. So we're going to keep this quite dynamic. So rocking back and forth, you can do about 6 to 8 on each leg, and then you're gonna switch sides. Remember, the toes are facing forward. So back and forward. Good. All right, so what you're gonna need for this next exercise are a pair of sliders, or if you have hardwood floor or tile, you can also grab a pair of socks and use those to slide. So I'll just pull these out and show you. These are by the brand Go Fit. And you can use this side on the hardwood floor in order to slide, or if you have carpet like I have today, we are going to be using the flat side so it slides around. All right, let's get into some hamstring exercises. All right, so I'm gonna place this slider under one of my feet and get into a glute bridge position. So I'm gonna start on my back. We're gonna want to make sure that we're not arching our back too much, so pushing our ribs and our back into the floor. We're gonna push up with our hips, and the leg that has the slider underneath it is going to be doing the work, okay? So we're gonna move out and slide back in, keeping the hips. So we don't wanna see any dropping as we come down. We wanna keep those hips nice and high throughout the whole movement so that we're really focusing on working that hamstring on the drag back. So heel out, heel back. And this is gonna help strengthen our hamstrings so we avoid getting any hamstring tears, which Diego just mentioned he had before. All right, so if that was a little bit too difficult for you, what you can do is sit down on a chair or the edge of a couch like I'm doing right now. You can place it on the floor, and what you're gonna do is the same thing. You're gonna push out with the heel and bring it back. So this is more of a rehab type exercise, not as much as preventative, but it's always good to take things in progressions. So we're going to come forward and come back. And if you want to add a little bit of more intensity, you can push down with your heel as you drag back. Good. You might even feel that a little bit in the glute like I just did. As Diego mentioned, in basketball, we do see knee injuries, which is why we're going to do an exercise that's going to help with our knee stability as well as our ankle stability. So we're going to place all of our weight on one foot. I'm doing the right foot first. I have a slight bend in my knee, okay, so that my quad it's actively working right now. It's bent. I'm shifting all my weight on here. We're going to bend the knee, touch forward with the heel, come out, touch the side, and come backwards and touch the back. Okay, forwards, up, to the side, and back. What we can do to intensify this exercise is add a resistance band. We can use one of these or any resistance band that you find at the gym that has a loop in it. So what you can do is you're gonna basically imagine this is your gym equipment. You're gonna loop it through, make sure it's really sturdy, and here you have a nice place for your leg to go into. All right, so if you wanna intensify that exercise a little more and really work on that ankle and knee stability, what we can do is place a band around the knee. So right now I have it pulling externally, so my knee is working to keep it straight in line. So with this added resistance, I'm gonna do the same thing. So I'm gonna come down to the side and back. Good, and ideally you wanna come a little bit further back. Good, see how my knee is staying fairly straight the whole time, even though it wants to pull me outward. So my knee wants to come out this way, my muscles are pulling me back in, so I'm nice and straight, and I wanna keep that straightness the whole way through the movement. Good. If you liked today's video and you learned something, please like, comment, and subscribe. Every month we will be featuring a new sport on this channel, and I also write about it in my blog. There will be a link put down below, so feel free to check it out.